Welcome back to Rock On Studio Live. My name is Elwood, and thank you so much for hanging out with us today. Remember, if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel yet, definitely hit it up. Just search Rock On Studio Live, click subscribe. We've got over 25 episodes now, one-on-one with all of your favorite artists, musicians, and more, plus exclusive live performances, music video premieres, everything about rock that you love. My guest on today's show, I am beyond honored to have with me. He's given us over 20 years of Slipknot, Stone Sour, live performances we'll never forget, and music that'll live on forever in the hard rock and metal world. But now he's back with his debut solo record coming out on October 2nd, which you can pre-order now at thecoreytaylor.com. CMFT, the man, Corey Taylor. Welcome to Rock On Studio, dude.
What's up, dude? How you doing?
I'm awesome, man. I'm super excited to have you on the show today. I'm pumped up about the new record, and I can't wait to hear all of it. But first off, I just want to say today, International Overdose Awareness Day, and it's kicking off all month long. So anybody that has needs to reach out or has a problem, there are plenty of places that you can do that. I'll post up links for you as well. And before we get into the solo stuff, you were just a part of a great track. Maybe It's Time, Reimagines from 6 a.m., with an all-star lineup. So just take us through that track first before we get into the solo stuff.
I mean, it was pretty rad, when Nikki was putting together the basically the group of people that, ended up doing it. He reached out to me and he was like, would you be into doing something like that? I hadn't heard the song and I was like, absolutely. Not only am I just a supporter of raising awareness about opioid abuse and just drug abuse in general, but also it's Nikki Sixx, man. I'm one of the biggest clue heads on the planet. Are you kidding me? So yeah, I mean, it was a no-brainer, and I was just happy to help.
Yeah, it's such a powerful track, and the lineup on it, man. You have Joe Elliott, you have AWOL Nation, Tommy Vex, Slash on the guitar. Everybody's on it, and all the proceeds are benefiting a great cause, Artists for Recovery. So if you haven't checked out the video or the song, do it, because every download, every video view, those proceeds are going to help out people that really need it. So I just wanted to bring that up before we start. Now let's get into the CMFT.
You got it upside down.
Come on, man.
I love it.
This has got to be the greatest promo that I've ever seen for bringing something out, dude. This is unreal.
So every time I see one of those, it just looks cooler and cooler, man. It's so great.
So you came out, you said, I remember getting the phone call and they said, Corey's going to do a solo thing. And I was like, wow, what's it going to sound like? Slipknot, Stone Sour? And I remember them telling me it doesn't sound like either.
Yeah.
And I thought to my mind, how the hell is that possible? And then you came out swinging with CMFT Must Be Stopped and Black Eyes Blue. First, let's talk about CMFT Must Be Stopped. How fun was it doing that song and putting that video together?
Oh, it was ridiculous. I mean, the song was something I'd just been waiting to do for so long, and especially with my buddies Tech and Book. And then the video was just ridiculous, I mean, the video was me basically just hamming up everything that I could even think about for like a party video, like something, just making it bigger than life and just over the top. And yeah, I mean, it was rad, it was basically me making fun of all the people who think they know who I am,
And then over 25 cameos? You just call your friends like, hey, you got to jump in this video, man.
Dude, I had a laundry list. And honestly, I put together this wish list of like people who were not only my friends, but also people who I just loved and respected. And I sent it to my management and almost everyone said yes. I mean, it was pretty cool. It was getting to the point where we were really trying to figure out where we were going to put. I mean, we had to start adding them early on. It was like, well, we can't piss this guy off. I mean, it was really, really cool, man.
Unbelievable video and song. I mean, to come out for your debut solo stuff and come out swinging like that, right. And then you throw Tech Nine and Kid Bookie on there. Plus, you're dropping bars. Like, right. Was that like an adjustment, like going into a studio and rapping rather than doing the singing or screaming thing?
I mean, that's honestly how that song started. Like, that song started, it was just me writing a verse with the hopes that somebody would hit me up about being on a hip hop song, right? So that was just a piece of paper in a notebook that I just had forever. And I just went, you know what? Someday I'm gonna, if somebody asks me, I've got the bars right here, and I'll make it work, and I'll fit it. And then nobody asked me, so I just kind of went, well, or get my own song together, darn it, and that's literally what happened. So
Unbelievable track, man. And now the single Black Eyes Blue, already top 5 in rock radio, going up to #1 already. And that's another one. And it was so cool to me for you to do such different songs to come out at the same time with music videos and more, which makes your album even more intriguing.
yeah.
And take us behind Black Eyes Blue, what that song meant to you, and where that song came from.
I mean, it's funny too, because that song started out, for the longest time, that song was just called Clash Ripoff, like it was all it was, because musically I wanted to write something that had the same spirit of that, almost that collision of styles that those guys were so good at, just being able to fit certain things together and just have them sound brilliant. So that was my idea of, fitting different types of music together and dabbling in two-tone and obviously being a huge punk fan, that was like something massive that I wanted to try. Lyrically, it's about seeing the world with my wife, basically, and realizing that, when you're with someone who you genuinely enjoy spending time with, and you absolutely love and just love seeing how excited they get being in a place that you've been a million times, and maybe you're a little cynical about it, and you just see the enjoyment wash over them, and you go, oh yeah, this is a pretty rad place. It just reinforces the fact that you made a very, very wise decision in marrying that person,
Yeah, your wife's had a great effect on you, right? You look fucking great. You're healthy.
Thank
You're
you.
eating right now. My wife's a vegetarian. She hasn't gone vegan yet, but she does the same stuff with me, man. And you look fantastic. That's when you know somebody's truly happy.
I'm trying, man. You get this age, and you got to start making some decisions. You can't eat like your 17-year-old son anymore. You got to actually put some thought into what you're putting in your face. So, yeah.
God damn it. I got to start taking care of myself. It's about that time. I had fun though. I had fun.
It was a good run. Yeah. We made a run at it.
So let me ask you this. Obviously, you've been writing and songs forever. Now you finally have a debut record after all these years. Where do you even begin on making the cuts of what track is going to go on the record and what's not?
Well, for me, this first album really came down to the songs, to be honest. Like for me, it's that old expression. You only get the first chance to make it, you only get one chance to make the first impression. So for me, I really wanted to lead out of the gate with 13 of the best tunes I had, whether they were really cool filler tracks or singles or fun tracks like the European Tour Bus Bathroom Song, stuff like that. I wanted to make sure that this first album was loaded with everything, as much junk food music and choruses and melodies and just vibe and performance that I could possibly shove into 13 songs, and that was it. It was really about just leading with, your best foot forward. It's the old adage, you have your whole life to write your first album and 6 months to write your follow-up. That's at least what it was back in the day. Luckily, I've spent all this time writing all of this music, and so I basically just kind of wanted to lead with all the knockout punches and just really kind of go for it.
So let me ask you this. After years of having huge albums with Slipknot and Stone Sour, now with a solo record, is there a different feeling? Is there a different anxiety or anticipation for the record coming out than you've had before?
I'm pretty, I don't know if I'm anxious. Like I'm stoked. Like I'm really stoked. I really can't wait for people to hear it, but there's also that part of me that realizes that it's just me. Like there's no band name for me to hide behind. There's no, wall of people. And I wrote almost every song on this album with the exception of one. So this is really me coming forward and doing this. So there's I don't want to say that there's hesitation, but there's that thing in my head that's like, there's no turning back now, you know, like this is really about sharing something so personal with the audience. You know, these are songs that I write, whether anybody's listening or not. You know, these are songs that I just write so I can play back for myself, you know, and, you know, hopefully people feel the same way I do when they hear it. I mean, it's supposed to be about celebrating rock, not just weighing it down with a bunch of bum out, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I was lucky enough to see your performance in London, you and a guitar, and
Right.
you are so happy up there singing those cover songs and doing all that. So I feel like when you get out on the road, which you're going to do, right? You're going to support
Yeah.
the solo.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's the
and,
plan anyway.
and be able to see you up there just being you. And obviously, like you said, you've written these songs over years. So it's going to bring you back to different places in your life at the same time, right?
Yeah.
Word is there's a song on there from high school.
Yeah, the seeds of it started in high school. Yeah, I was it's Highway 666. The first track is two of the verses in that song are actually from 10th grade and I found them in a notebook at my grandma's house and just leafing through, and I saw them, and when I wrote them, I wasn't really even certain that they were verses. You know, they could have just been prose or whatever, but I remember writing them and going, oh yeah. So I took them and I was reading them and I was just like, you know what, you could fit something really cool, almost like a country vibe to this, like a rockabilly country vibe, and it's kind of a stomp and just a good rock tune to it. And when the time came to start putting this together and really fashioning this album out of whatever, that's where I started with. You know, I was like, you know what, I'm going to finish this song, and then this will be the first song on the album, almost metaphorically, like starting before Stone Sour, before Slipknot, before the original Stone Sour, right back to the beginning and moving forward, you know?
That's got to be so cool. And to share with your kid, be like, hey, in high
Oh,
school,
yeah.
I was doing this too. It's awesome.
Right.
CMFT, the debut solo album from Corey Taylor, out October 2nd. You can pre-order that now at thecoreytaylor.com. I cannot wait to hear who else is going to be featured on this track. I can't wait to see you performing it live. And I can't thank you enough for being with me today, man. It means the world to us here.
Oh, it's all good, man. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
CMFT, that's the Corey motherfucking Taylor. And this is Rock On Studio Live. Stay safe and stay metal.